Anyway, shocking story here. A male model from New York has slammed Germany's immigration policies after he was brutally attacked while defending two women in Dresden. Just a warning, you might find these images distressing. John Rudat was stabbed multiple times with a 6-inch blade by a migrant who was trying to assault two women on public transport. He has now claimed mass immigration into Germany has undermined law and order in the country as well as its social structure. And John Rudat joins me now. John, thank you very much for joining me. You're an extremely brave man. Our audience are claiming you are a hero, and thank you so much for doing what you did. Listen, John, this situation in Europe, as you may have seen, was similar to the United States. We had a mass migration problem. European leaders are only starting to get a grip of this. What's your take on the situation? You've gone to Germany. I don't know whether it was for a trip or to move there, but tell us the circumstances that led to the event.
So originally, I had went to Germany to visit my guest father. I had spent a year abroad here in Dresden in 2022 to 2023, and I fell in love with the city from the second I got here. Now, that's also separate to the last 10 years, as I've been told since the accident. I've had hundreds of people reach out to me and give me the claims and their stresses about over the last 10 years. The immigration problem and the violence problem has been really rising and becoming a legitimate threat to everyday safety. People nowadays tell me that they are afraid to use the tram, and understandably so. Look at my face. I completely understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, indeed, John, and extremely brave what you did stepping in for those two women there. Do you have sympathy for people such as President Trump, who is on a mass deportations plan right now? He's claiming he had 0 illegal migrants entering the United States. Do you think these are the right policies and that Europe should be adopting similar policies?
I think that the German people would really appreciate some policies like that. I think the German people would really appreciate being able to feel safe on their own transportation systems. And I hope that Germany and the government of Germany and the people of Germany push for exactly that, more policy for more safety.
And John, were you shocked when were you overwhelmed perhaps when you saw Germany and when you got to Dresden and you saw the fabric of the society? Was something about that shocked you and saw these two women being assaulted? Was that a surprise to you here for seeing that here in Europe?
It was definitely a surprise to me. I never expected that night to turn into this, and I never expected to have to delay all the trips I had planned with my host father for the genuine visit I came here for, just to see Europe and the beauty of Europe. I never expected to spend that time in a hospital bed.
Have you had a random call lately from a strange number, maybe trying to sell you something or even scam you? If so, your info could be out there. That's because of data brokers, shady companies that scrape the internet for your personal details and sell them to marketers or even scammers. These days, scammers can even use AI to mimic your friends' voices and trick you into sending money. It's not just annoying. Data brokers often target vulnerable people with high-interest loans or sketchy offers. But there is a solution. Incogni, the sponsor of this video. Incogni contacts data brokers on your behalf and requests your info be deleted from their databases. And because your data can keep popping up, Incogni keeps sending removal requests to make sure it stays gone. They've just launched a new unlimited plan with custom removals. If you find your info on a weird website, just send them the link and their privacy team will work to get it taken down. Getting started is easy. Hit the link in the description, create your account and let Incogni handle the rest. It's risk-free for 30 days and you'll get 60% off an annual plan with the code GBNews. Take back control of your data with Incogni.
Indeed. John, could you just briefly give me the circumstances that led to you intervening with these two women as well, if you don't mind sharing it?
Of course. So I had entered the tram with my host brother and my friend, and we took seats right next to a woman at the time that was later going to be the one that was assaulted by that initial man. The man came over, started disturbing her, started harassing her, touching her. I stood up, intervened, vocalized the fact that I did not approve of what he was doing. I told him to stop. And at the time, my friends translated the language that I couldn't necessarily understand at the time and the tone that the man, the aggressor, was really stating it in, that they were getting through something or talking to each other about some problem. I sat back down. I was okay. I wasn't there looking for a fight. I wasn't there to start any conflicts. But when the woman stood up and the man came back yelling and screaming, He grabbed her, hit her with her fist, threw her down on the seat, and that's when I knew I had to intervene, and I did. I tried to maintain distance by extending my hand against the man, and he took that as a threat to violence and proceeded to hit me, and then I exchanged blows with him. He retreated backward. I tried to maintain distance, stay with my hands open, trying to protect the woman. She was my main priority, and her safety was my main priority. But he continued to try to attack me, and at that time I heard a quick click. I looked to the right and I saw a man that I had never seen before with a brutal expression on his face lift up his hand and cut me in the face with a knife.
John, were you expecting a knife to be pulled on you in this situation? Was that a big surprise as well?
It was definitely a big surprise. I never expected any time that I get on the tram and have to get into a knife altercation with somebody, because I'm in Europe. I know that people don't do that here, or at least Europeans don't. And I never had to deal with that problem before while I was here in 2022 to 2023. But since then, I've noticed firsthand and had to experience firsthand that this problem is only getting worse.
Indeed. We unfortunately, even here, John, we have a knife epidemic in Great Britain, which we are struggling with quite a lot. Listen, John, you are welcome. Anytime you visit the United Kingdom, please come and visit us at GB News. We'd love to have a chat with you. Just some of our audience here are saying you deserve a medal, and I couldn't agree more. Than you're an exceptionally brave man, and thank you for stepping in and looking after those two women. I'm sure they are eternally grateful for you doing what you did, and I'm sure your career is only going to go from strength to strength from here, John. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about this horrific case. John Rudat there, male model. Thank you very much.
John, the victim, had just completed paramedic training. His sister-in-law said online it was his passion for saving lives that led him to intervene. According to a GoFundMe set up for John's medical costs, 2 Syrian nationals were involved in the attack. One was arrested but released briefly after, and the other remains at large. The GoFundMe has raised $45,000 so far. The shocking scenes have grabbed the attention of US media, where the Trump administration had already been highly critical of Germany's asylum policies.
If you have a country like Germany, where you have another few million immigrants come in from countries that are totally culturally incompatible with Germany, then it doesn't matter what I think about Europe. Germany will have killed itself, and I hope they don't do that, because I love Germany and I want Germany to thrive.
There's a steady stream of news of attacks perpetrated by asylum seekers in Germany. Fears over safety have led to the anti-immigration Alternative for Germany leading some of the polls there. The state has deemed the party extremist, but leader Alice Weidel is undeterred.
Our legacy media and establishment politicians fear us like no other party, with good reason. More and more voters in Germany are simply fed up with being lied to and watching their quality of life deteriorating year for year. Establishment politics have turned Germany into a danger zone for its citizens. Its people suffer from mass migration, exploding crime rates, high taxes and energy prices, inflation, and the destruction of wealth. That's why they voted out the old left-green government, only to get a government that continues down the same disastrous path. They got a government that pretends to prevent illegal immigration while leaving the gates wide open. In a futile attempt to evade his domestic problems, our Chancellor travels the world, fomenting conflict and throwing German taxpayers' money out of the window.